Hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome to my channel. Today I just want to talk about some early elementary language arts, reading, writing curriculum that I have used, and maybe it would be of some benefit to you if you're looking for something, and just some ideas that I did to help my boys learn to read and write, and also with their grammar. So I'm going to turn the camera around and share some things with you. Okay, for kindergarten, I will usually start out with spell to write and read. And maybe even in K4, we will start with the sounds, learning to write them. Just all depends. But that could be definitely started in K4 or even halfway through K4 if needed, just to be familiar with them. And then really we get into, this is the teacher's guide and this is the spelling. But once they learn even the first list, they're already reading the words. But I do have a whole video on this, and I can try to link that below. So they will be able to read some of the words. And we use this book because it has a majority of the words in the first several lists for reading. Show you the first beginning. I mean, it even says they will be able to read that. And after the first few lessons, should be able to read some of this. So that's where we begin with our reading. Okay, when my boys would first start reading, we would take the spelling words they learned and write sentences. And they would start there. They would start with that book that I showed you, and these are some of the other books. The words are pretty simple. Billy the Blaze books, and even if they just read one page a day, or maybe I'd read a page and they would read a page, and just working with them there. This is one of the first books, the one that my boy that struggled with reading read, and I think it was more, hey, Sam the Minuteman. That looks like a book a boy would want to read, right? And really, it's pretty basic. So, easy words to break down. So, I'm just sharing this with you. And then, and once I found Heart of Dakota, they, in their Beyond, I think, they have an emerging reading set. And you can look this up online. It's on their website also. But I have a lot of their books. Like this was in the set. So it starts off pretty easy. And here's another one. And then of course they have the Owl and the Frog and Toad books. It gets in, like this is one of the books that's on their list. I don't have all of them anymore, but this is, so they'll be ending by the time they're done. Like this is probably one of the earlier chapter books. Another Frog and Toad, that's more at the beginning. This is probably more at the beginning. But they're all good books. I'm thinking this might be one of them. That's probably why I have it. So, and a lot of these type of books, like, I think my mom found this like at a Goodwill type store. Wasn't actually Goodwill. You could find readers if you look through the kids section. We have a place here that we find a lot of them. And you can also, especially the ones that have like the numbers on it, like with Toad, the Frog, the readers, you can look these up online at the library and have them, place them on hold. They might even have some of these. They might even have one of this, or sometimes my boys would have a particular interest and we would find one on, you know, a certain animal they wanted, and they would have different levels of reading. So it wasn't just these. We would try to pick up extra at the library that they could read with these. And this was more for, of course, this was like first, second grade. For grammar, this was one of my favorite, Winston Grammar. And I have done a whole video on this, but it really just starts out very basic. I would definitely say, definitely third grade maybe 4th grade. That's what my 4th graders using this year. I think I usually start a 4th grader. My 6th grader, my oldest when he was in 6th grade, used this, but it was really a review year for him. He knew most of it, but it was good just to keep it afresh. So definitely an elementary program. Now, if you have a child that is in 7th and has just really needs to start grammar, this would be a great program for that. Great introduction. Okay, with Shirley English, that is one that I actually used before Winston Grammar. The first time I used it was when my oldest was in 3rd grade. And we actually used level 3 when he was in 3rd grade. I would suggest the level of the grade they're in. You could even go down. It's pretty advanced. I did use this at the end of my last year for my 3rd grader who is now in 4th. We started it just as an introduction to some things, and he actually really enjoyed it. But I did not do everything in here, and I think that's what overwhelms some parents, is there is so much. But if you need a program that needs a lot, like the writing and the grammar, and like they do vocabulary, I mean, it is in here. So, but we did not do all that. We mainly just did the grammar part for him last year. My boys have done the vocabulary. I think one of them, maybe it's the 2nd or 3rd grade, has states. Don't see that in here. I have never done the writing part. That is just not a strength of mine. And we ended up with IEW, finding that, and that is something that has worked for our family. So, and that was that was after we had found Shirley. We just did the grammar part first. But it's really a strong curriculum. If they even do it for a year and just do the grammar, it would stay with them. There's jingles, and then you would just break down sentences. This is like the very beginning. So subject, verb, adverb, and what questions to ask. And I even made cards for the questions. It just, it takes a little bit of time with any program, especially with grammar. But this taught me grammar. I'm going to be honest. When my oldest was in 3rd grade, that was a wonderful year for both of us. He enjoyed it, which helped. And I learned right along with him. I mean, I was familiar with it, but the way they taught it, it has stuck with me and made me more capable of teaching it. Even if I didn't have the books, I would definitely be able to teach a grammar program. So, and that is Shirley English. Okay, I'm talking about reading, writing, language arts. So you're probably wondering why I am showing you something from My Father's World. This is their 1st grade curriculum that I did use with my last 2. I really just used it for the reading, language arts type part, and the writing, mainly because it correlated so well with SWR that I used. And it kept me on track and moving forward. I did not use their history. I did not use their science. My boys were younger. The older brothers, they just followed along in whatever history or science they were doing, whether they listened or did some hand-on projects with them. So we really enjoyed this. They had a Bible book that they read along with it once they start reading, which is pretty much, I feel like that's immediately. I can't remember all the details. And really with this, you could slow it down or move quickly if you needed to. So I just wanted to share that with you, that worked well for us in 1st grade, and both those boys are great readers. I mean, so, and really both of them are probably my better spellers, to tell you the truth. So all right, I appreciate you watching through that video. I hope it was helpful. If there's any curriculum that you would like to see in more detail, please let me know. Also, if you like this type of content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and share with your friends. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much.